Hello everyone, welcome to The Financial Prophet. I am Victor Dergunov. I am very glad to see that you're with me today. This means that you want to continuously beat the market and stay ahead of the curve. You know, we're always looking for the next Palantir or NVIDIA type company, a stock that is being really undervalued and underappreciated by the market at any given time. Like NVIDIA when it was down at around $100 split adjusted, so about $10 going by its share price now in late 2022. Or Palantir when it was in the $6 to $7 range, and we were molding it into the all-weather portfolio's most significant position in 2023, which, by the way, boosted our returns considerably in 2024. So in today's video, we're going to discuss one of the more exciting companies that you may not have even ever heard of before, and I believe it may have a similar explosive potential, possibly like Palantir did. So the company we will discuss today is Sentinel One, which is a leading AI-focused cybersecurity platform that is unjustly being hated on right now by the market. So let's begin. Sentinel One is one of the most unique companies in the AI software space. What makes Sentinel One special is that it may be one of the purest AI plays in the lucrative global cybersecurity market. Another factor that makes Sentinel One very attractive is that it is an under-the-radar stock right now, and it has a relatively cheap valuation. Now, moreover, Sentinel One will report earnings soon on March 12th, and there's a high probability that Sentinel One could report and guide better than expected, in my view. Another element to consider is that Sentinel One recently got a downgrade from UBS, which has caused its stock to slide substantially, creating a very compelling buying opportunity around the crucial $20 area support level. Now, Sentinel One's stock has been beaten down pretty bad recently, and it shed about 20% in these recent sessions following the UBS downgrade. So Sentinel One, after the UBS downgrade, it didn't really drop that much on the day when the downgrade came out. However, the downgrade coincided with an overall general risk-off kind of sentiment in the market. We also saw cybersecurity stocks in general correcting recently. So basically, the UBS downgraded kind of exacerbated and accelerated the recent declines in Sentinel One stock, and unjustly in my view, because the stock lost about 20% after the downgrade. It went down from $25 all the way down to about $20.80. So roughly a 20% correction here. Very nice, very constructive, and a very strong buying opportunity in my view. So we could see a follow through of this bullish reversal that we're seeing in the stock, that we could see in the stock in the coming sessions. And Sentinel One may move above the 25 area resistance level up to next resistance, which is at around $30, and potentially even higher after that. My target is $35 by year end. Given its stock price now, this represents about a 75% increase actually. So quite a lot of upside in this stock in my view. So let's address the UBS downgrade, which is very timely considering that Sentinel One has earnings in about 2 weeks. So while I and others may be bullish on Sentinel One, some clearly are not. And this is what makes a market. Roger Boyd from UBS recently slapped a downgrade on Sentinel One, citing some slower than expected growth metrics, the company's decision to reinvest in its business he apparently sees as a negative, and other factors. Now, I've gone through this UBS downgrade, and it's questionable at best in my view. First, I'm not really crazy about the analysts at UBS. I've seen them. First of all, the bank is not a great bank, and it doesn't do very well compared to other banks. Secondly, I've seen many poor upgrades and even more poor downgrades from UBS in recent years. So I'm a little bit skeptical about this downgrade here. So what does Roger Boyd do? He decreased the price target from $30 to $25. And I just want to mention that Sentinel One is around $20 to $21 right now. So there's even considerable upside to his lowered $25 target. Now, let's move on here and talk a little bit about Sentinel One's AI advantage, because this is a very interesting area, and cybersecurity is is in itself a very lucrative and a very interesting segment. And I think the whole AI dynamic, and especially in this segment, because it's software and AI could really bring a lot of advantages in the space, from the, delivering better results to your customers, as well as optimization and increased efficiency at the company itself. So I just want to address SentinelOne's AI advantage over its competitors and how this fact may be getting overlooked a lot. I don't even think anyone is really paying attention to this here, and it is a very, very significant fact. Now, despite UBS's negative note, SentinelOne's average price target remains around $30 on Wall Street. I just want to reiterate that. So this represents an upside potential of over 40% from where the stock is now. I consider this the base case outcome. In a more bullish case outcome, I believe the stock could move up by 75, 80% or more in the next year. Let's talk about this AI advantage because it is very important. So SentinelOne remains the AI leader in the cybersecurity space. Singularity, which is its cybersecurity platform, Singularity AI-enabled cybersecurity platform, is a top-rated cybersecurity platform that enables unfettered visibility, industry-leading detection, and autonomous responses. So now I know that many of you may not be cybersecurity experts, and to be honest, I'm not a cybersecurity expert myself, but I do recognize some things, and I do recognize that SentinelOne does have the advantage here. So let's just take a look at this table here and try to kind of get to the bottom of this. So when it comes to autonomous operations, yes, SentinelOne is the best. So now these autonomous operations, we can also refer to these as AI-driven automation. Now we see that SentinelOne's platform is fully autonomous in some respects. Now CrowdStrike only has partial automation, and as well as other competitors. Now, what does this mean? So basically, this means that the AI-related autonomous operations that are occurring within the cybersecurity platform at SentinelOne, they occur at very fast machine speeds, basically rapid response without the need for human intervention. Now, when it comes to, for instance, CrowdStrike, it's much more human dependent, as well as other cybersecurity platforms. Now, here's another very interesting factor that may escape people that are not experts in the cybersecurity space, and this concerns the storyline. Now, I will try to explain what the storyline is a little bit later, but first, let's just take a look at this. So, SentinelOne, yes, fully autonomous, AI storyline enabled. Now, CrowdStrike and others. Now, this is, by the way, is a patented technology. So SentinelOne is the only company that has this, that has basically this very important feature. And other competitors like CrowdStrike and others need to use basically manual correlation in this space. Now, storyline, yes, patented technology for SentinelOne. CrowdStrike, no, relies on incident workbench. Palo Alto, also a no, focuses on XDR correlation. So now let's just dive into this storyline a little bit. So imagine this: you're basically watching a crime show where a detective follows different events to solve a case. Now, instead of looking at random bits of evidence one by one, the investigator creates a timeline of events linking who did what, when, and how. Now, how this storyline AI works. So basically, it tracks everything automatically. It watches all activities on a computer, which files are open, which programs are run, network connections, basically like a security camera. Now, it also explains like the full attack. So instead of overwhelming security terms with thousands of alerts, it shows the full picture of how an attack started, spread, and what damage it might do. Also, moreover, it takes action because it understands the entire attack. This is how powerful this storyline feature really is, and it's so underrated because it's basically many analysts may overlook it, and it's really not focused on outside of the cybersecurity industry. Again, it takes action because it understands the entire attack. It can automatically stop threats, quarantine malicious files, and even undo damage without needing any human input, which is pretty remarkable. So why is it better? It's better because it saves time because there's no manual investigation needed. It reduces, the overall noise because there's fewer alerts, more clear insights, basically. So it gives you a much clearer picture. And it has a faster response. It can stop attacks before. So in short, the storyline AI is like an automated crime scene investigator for cybersecurity, showing the full picture of an attack in real time and stopping it before it does any damage. Now, you tell me, is this something worthy of discussion and something that, more people should perhaps know about? I think so. And this is also a very good reason why Sentinel One, is growing at such a rapid pace, should continue growing, could continue, getting more customers from CrowdStrike. And CrowdStrike's blackout, of course, did not help, because we know that Sentinel One could have gotten some of CrowdStrike's customers after that event. So there could be a lot of growth ahead for Sentinel One, and one of the primary reasons for this is Sentinel One's AI advantage. So Sentinel One may be very undervalued here. I think it's crucial to recognize that Sentinel One is a relatively new company, founded just 12 years ago, and it went public around the height of the bull market in 2021, right before the bubble burst and the savage tech bear market arrived. Unfortunately for Sentinel One, Sentinel One traded up to a high of about $80 right after it IPO'd. In November 2021, its market cap even eclipsed $20 billion. Now its market cap is closer to only $7 billion. Now check this out. Given that Sentinel One had about $200 million in sales in 2021, during its peak, it traded at about a 100 times sales multiple. Can you believe that? It traded at 100 times sales. However, like many tech stocks, Sentinel One went through a tumultuous bear market, with its share price finally bottoming around the $13 to $15 range, and the stock hasn't climbed much from this ultra low range yet. Not yet. And this is the crucial and the most beneficial element for us in my view, is that the market has really been behind the curve on this stock, and it's been kind of, just basically neglecting it, which is good for us because now we can buy it at very cheap levels. So first, I want to point out that Sentinel One is going through a crucial transformation stage as it prepares to transition to a sustainably profitable company. Sentinel One could go from almost no or very little earnings per share to roughly 20 cents in fiscal 2026, which is basically 2025, and it could double its EPS to around 40 or more in fiscal 2027, which is actually just 2026, next year. However, Sentinel One is only transitioning, just becoming slightly profitable. Therefore, it is challenging to use, its potential PE ratio to derive a valuation. Yet we can look at its sales figures to kind of gauge its valuation and its potential value then. So Sentinel One should have about 1 to 1.1 billion in sales in fiscal 2026, which is this year, basically. Surprising for its growth, for its substantial growth prospects, Sentinel One's market cap is only about $7 billion now. This dynamic illustrates that Sentinel trades at only around 7 times forward sales. It could be even lower than that if Sentinel One beats its sales estimates and comes closer to earning to seeing 1.1 billion in revenue. Please consider that this valuation is for a high quality, high growth AI leading cybersecurity company in the ultra lucrative AI software space. So basically at around the top of the market in 2021, when Sentinel One really was expensive, it was trading at 100 times sales. Now Sentinel One trades at only 7 times sales and is transitioning to become a profitable company, probably becoming increasingly profitable in the coming years. So we're really seeing that its valuation has gone from an extreme high to basically now an extreme low. So perhaps we've seen the pendulum swing too much, first in one direction and now way too much in the opposite direction, where, in 2021, the stock was grossly overvalued, where now in 2025, this stock could be considered grossly undervalued. Now, due to its emphasis on growth and considerable expansion potential, Sentinel One could continue posting 25 to 35% year-over-year sales growth for several years as we advance. With this type of growth potential, it is very atypical to see this high-quality, high-potential stock trading at only about 7 times forward sales. especially in this market. This dynamic suggests that the market may be missing the bigger picture regarding Sentinel One and is unjustly suppressing its stock price here. Now, if we really want to kind of value Sentinel One and get the gauge of its value relative to other competitors in its space, other cybersecurity companies, we don't have to go far. We can just look at its price to sales valuation relative to CrowdStrike, Palo Alto Networks, Zscaler, and others. So for instance, CrowdStrike trades at about 24 times forward sales estimates, which is remarkably expensive. It's more than 3 times as rich as Sentinel One's valuation. So for Sentinel One to be valued as highly as CrowdStrike here, the stock would have to be at around $75, not 21. Palo Alto Networks trades at about a 14 times forward sales estimates, price to sales ratio, which makes it about twice as expensive as Sentinel One. So Sentinel One would have to be at around $50 here to be comparable, valuation wise to Palo Alto Networks. Zscaler is about 50% more expensive than Sentinel One here. Now, what is the takeaway on all this? So we see clear divergence here, as the highest growth potential stock, which is Sentinel One, also trades at the cheapest multiple. Therefore, Sentinel One appears highly undervalued here. A more fair price-to-sales ratio that would be more in line with the industry standards here could push Sentinel One's price-to-sales valuation to 15 or 20, which equates to a stock price of around $50 to $75 a share, not 20. So, let's see where Sentinel One stock could be in the future. Now, I have my projection table here, and I'm projecting sales revenues, sales figures to be about $1.08 billion this year in fiscal 2026. Next year, I expect revenues to climb to around $1.4 billion, then $1.78, and up to about $2.9 billion in 2030. Now, sales growth I'm projecting to be between around 27 and 32%. Now, this could be sales growth could be, this is my base case scenario, but sales growth could be slightly lower in a more bearish case, or it could even be slightly higher, 30 to 35% in a more bullish case outcome for Sentinel One. I have earnings per share increasing to 28 cents in fiscal 2026 and going up to about $1 in 2028, 2029, and about $1.50 or higher by 2030. Now, we should see healthy EPS growth during this time frame, and I expect that the 4P ratio could remain elevated because of the high growth potential and the high earnings growth potential that Sentinel One has. So I expect we could see about a 50 to 60P ratio in future years. Now, this suggests that the stock price could move up to around $36 this year, maybe about $57 next year, perhaps around $75 in 2028, and possibly above $100 by 2030 or sooner. So we're basically looking for, some solid gains of maybe 50, 70, 100% or more even in the next 12 to 24 months. Now, so my price target that's my profit report on Sentinel One. My 1-year price target on the stock is $35. Thanks for watching, and please comment if you agree with me or if you disagree with me about something. If you enjoyed my video, please click like, share, and subscribe. You can also follow me, Victor Dergunov, at seekingalpha.com. And please feel free to join our one-of-a-kind, highly successful investing group, The Financial Profit, at seekingalpha.com, if you're not a member already. Thank you very much for watching, and have a splendid day.